Welcome to the Global Integral Beauty Networking event, an innovative platform that seeks the best professionals from the global industry to connect and build an interdisciplinary community working together for the benefit of patients. Hosted by Adalis Bailey, global leader in the integral beauty field, a registered nurse with an MBA in marketing, skincare specialist, and CEO of Renew Aesthetics. Adalis Beauty Savvy and Global Integral Beauty, also a best-selling author. This is a revolutionary opportunity to create professional networks in the fields of health, wellness, and aesthetics, driving global collaboration. Get ready to enjoy an event full of connections, knowledge, and innovation. Welcome to the Global Integral Beauty Networking.
Welcome to the Global Integral Beauty Network. Today we have three new VIP guests, international VIP guests. Our topic today is entrepreneur professional growth in aesthetics. This is a topic like a lot of professionals every month request because it's something very important for each one who are working in their practice. Every single day we try to grow, but we have to do it just working together, organic, and this is the best way where we can share our own opinion and suggest the different way to grow individual.
Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us on the eve of Thanksgiving. I know we all have busy schedules, and I'm sure our hands are going to be deep into cooking very, very shortly. But let's take a pause and talk about the business acumen you all bring to the conversation. I am so delighted to have so many solo estheticians on the panel. You guys are actually one of my favorite people to talk to because even for topical skin, our advisory board is consisting of estheticians and dermatologists, Adalis being the key ambassador. So I cannot wait to hear all your knowledge nuggets. But let's start with the general questions for everybody, and feel free to volunteer, whoever wants to answer first, and then I have individual questions prepared for you as well. So to start, in your opinion, what are the key scientific and professional pillars that every aesthetic entrepreneur must master to achieve consistent growth, balancing education, innovation, and the client experience? I would love to hear your perspective because I'm sure you are in different points of business professional life, and would love to learn your perspective.
My name's Lisa again. And so to answer your question, I think that there is a disconnect with the foundation of aesthetics as it relates to different schools and how things are taught differently across the states. And it would be a perfect world if we all had the same scope of practice in all of the states, or even a standardized global certification that is just for everyone. And I know there's a couple of places that do that, like Sedesco, iTech, Babtech. But I think going back to the basis of the question is that the foundation of aesthetics, and then also to seek out mentors, seek out classes, seek out people who've been in the industry for a really long time, just to kind of revisit some of these foundational and advanced techniques and new things and new advances. Because every day there's a new product, there's a new implement, there's a new how you use the gua sha different. You name it, it's kind of, you can run with all these ideas of different things. And there's so much to learn, even from a professional like myself has been in it for 23 years and in it daily with my students and professionally in my career, that there's still much to learn. So I think that collectively revisiting some of the basics and pushing towards and seeking out some people who really can make a difference and show you different things to implement into what you've already created speak volumes. So, that's my take on it.
Oh, thank you. I feel like continuing education is key, right? We always have to work on this gray matter. And then also hearing different perspective, I couldn't agree more about, having a mentor in the industry, because you want to learn from somebody who paved the way already, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a little bit of a shortcut.
It's so important.
Yes. I definitely echo what you're saying. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing.
You're welcome.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So for me, the success in the industry has always come down to one thing, and that's showing up. Showing up as both a student and as the teacher. So I really emphasize that a lot in everything I do, because I educate professionals. I curated a course, Mastering the Manzillion, that I have online. And so within the education aspect with success, when estheticians, when they combine innovation, education, and trust, which is a huge thing, they don't just offer services, they can build the relationships and the transformations. So innovation literally keeps us on our toes, but also being able to be both the educator and the teacher. So the student, because students, I learn from them too.
Elementary school teacher tells my daughter, to show up with listening ears and, obviously with the eyes on the prize. So half of it is showing up, half of the success is being present right in the moment and then absorbing the information from different perspectives. So thank you for sharing that as well, Brenda.
Different avenues for estheticians and professionals. Like, I teach it now, but when I was in school, I didn't understand the different avenues that could be a potential career for me. Like when you go to aesthetic school, you think, okay, I'm just going to be an esthetician and work in a spa or work for myself. There's so much more than that. And that's what I try to tell my students is that, yes, it's in the book. Yes, you talk about it, but we need to show them all the different avenues that you can take by not always working in the treatment room, right? So I think that's a big thing that, professionals can emphasize to up and coming and even licensed professionals that are looking for a change, right? There's so many things under that umbrella that you can go to and work with or change up things still in your scope of practice. So I think that's really important too. Because for example, I never thought I would be competing internationally and nationally for facial massage. That I was always good at it. People paid extra for it. I didn't think anything of it until 2 years ago. And I absolutely love doing it. And I never thought that would be an avenue for me. And that's opened up so many opportunities for me professionally. And it's just another example that you can keep going in the aesthetics industry. Like Brenda was saying, you got to push. You got to keep giving every day to your career to get where you want to be and then have new goals.
We're going to work it. And now today we have social media. So there's more, I'm pretty sure Lisa and a couple of the other gals on here, we are pre-social media. We had to be so vulnerable. And now, not that they're not vulnerable, but now there's a network of professionals and people out there. You get followers so fast, and back in the day in 2002, when I wanted clients, I'd go to the mall and give out my business cards and say, here's a card for a free treatment. Yes. It was face to face, going and promoting. I called it promoting. I would literally spend a whole Saturday or a Sunday, whatever, and I would go to the mall or go wherever people were, and I would give out my cards. And I teach other I teach other students that as well, is go do that. Go to the mall, give out your cards, because nothing beats face-to-face.
Irini, and you want to answer this general question to go for the individual question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Alice. I echo everything that the women have just said. So I'm going to piggyback off a few things just a little bit. In our industry, especially when we started, I'm licensed now 2 decades, and I started aesthetics way before I was even licensed. We do come from a different era. When we were going through it and when we were learning, and depending who our mentors were, we had a certain foundation. Yes, that has changed throughout the years, but regardless, in this industry, there will always be many different types of practitioners. Someone mentioned the gua sha. There's many different ways to use the gua sha. And as you get skilled, and that comes with time, it doesn't come in 3 years. Every year you get more skilled. Every month you get more skilled. Every client, every case study, every hiccup, you maneuver and you adapt and you create and you innovate. And estheticians, when you really are dedicated, and that's really important, is the dedication and the diligence to keep going even when times get tough. And many estheticians will resonate with that, or in any business. You keep moving, you keep adapting, whether it's a technical hiccup like me not being able to be on a camera or whatever it may be. And there's so many hundreds of different courses out there, but the most important thing is when you are in the room with your client, regardless of what generation you come from, regardless of what age you graduated from, it's what do you do in the room for the best for your client. Every day there's a new skincare product. Every day there's something new and trendy out there. It's not always about following the trends. A lot of it has to do really with marketing. And when you are skilled and your hands are your eyes and your eyes are your hands, I always say I see with my hands and I feel with my eyes. And that comes from something so deep. So when I teach my estheticians or my girls, or if I've mentored anyone in the past, I want to be able to give that to them, because the education from when we started and our expectations when we were going into the room to how it has evolved into today in some schools, it's not the same. And especially internationally with here, if that makes sense.
As a seasoned waxing and skincare specialist, how can estheticians integrate advanced skin knowledge, such as understanding the barrier function of the skin, inflammation response, product chemistry, into like everyday waxing and facial protocols to elevate clients' results, but also to position themselves as a true skin expert in their local market? Because I know that whatever works for me may not work for somebody else, but what worked for you?
Honestly, this is where estheticians can shine their brightest. You stop when you understand the skin and you stop waxing hair and start treating skin, all right? You're not just waxing, you're treating the skin as a whole as well. Okay, so whether you're waxing or whatever, you're treating skin. And then here's how. So what they're gonna do is barrier functions first, barrier first. This is how I've always explained it, is barrier first. You always want to keep the integrity of your client's barriers, always. So whether I'm doing a Brazilian or a Manzilian or a corrective facial, the skin barrier is the boss, all right? So that's my perspective. I choose the waxes and the pre and post care that actually respect the skin's barrier. So what I tell people is I choose the waxes, for instance, like Star Pale Star Soft, because it's gentle, it's for hypersensitive skin, it's for all skin types. So instead of stressing the skin, we're going to nourish the skin.
As an international educator, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, but CIDESCO certified professional, how do you see your role of advanced education and also standardized global certification in shaping the next generation of estheticians, and how can structured scientific training empower professionals to innovate, teach, and expand their influence in the aesthetic industry, not only on social media, but beyond?
As far as like the global standardized education, I think, again, it starts with the foundation in school, because again, I'm going back to the avenues of aesthetics, and a lot of times students or even licensed professionals don't even know about these different avenues. They don't know about what CIDESCO is. They don't know what iTech or BabTech is as a global certification. So I think that a lot of people who know about those need to hit some more schools and just kind of get the word out better, because there's so many avenues, and that being one specific one that not a lot of people know or think it's unattainable to get, because it's a hard thing, right? But we do hard things every day. So, if that's a goal of yours and you want to open up the doors for yourself, or even becoming an international educator or speaker, you have to find out about how to obtain these things. And so again, that goes back with knowing, if you don't know, or if someone doesn't tell you, even by your own research, sometimes you can only dig so far. So you really have to go back to, doing these advanced webinars, even if some are free, some are you paid for, but you know what, you got to invest in yourself. So by investing in yourself and your education leads you to open up those doors for finding out more things that are attainable to you, or maybe attainable in the future, or work towards, because that is so important. And so getting back to that again, I only became a Sedesco diplomat probably about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not even sure. And I've always wanted to become a Sedesco diplomat just because of the credentials. Now, I didn't ever plan on working overseas or on a cruise ship, but I wanted to do it as a goal for myself, just to have, in case a door opened, and I already have those credentials. And also those credentials, again, get you to opening new doors. And then for me and my students, I always tell them about all those different qualifications and different avenues of becoming an esthetician. Again, doesn't always mean you have to be behind a chair or treating somebody, right? So you can be a speaker, you can be a brand manager, a product reviewer, a cosmetic scientist if you have a secondary degree in biology, or, because most of us do have another degree in something. Not all of us, but some of us do. And so a lot of those degrees, I think, cross over into what we do, because again, we're therapists. All estheticians are. I mean, let's just be real. We're everything. We are everything, right, Brenda? So we've been a party planner, we've been a organizer, we are inventory specialists, we are payroll experts, we are HR, we are everybody, right? And how do we learn those things? Is advanced education. So, taking and researching those free community college classes of QuickBooks, or some of those things that most estheticians, when they go to school, don't think, oh, I didn't know I was going to be a business major. Well, guess what? You are. So, because a lot of people go solo, a lot of people own these day spas and employ people. And you have to know those skills. And if you don't know them, you have to seek education to be the one to know those things, because you can't own a business and not know how to run it, right? You can't be an esthetician and not get continuing education. A lot of times people complain about taking continuing education. Oh, that class was $500. Oh, this was that. But you know what? You're investing in yourself and knowing your self-worth. So why not invest in you, right? Because you're the main person who's going to invest in yourself. Besides you, if you have a wonderful spouse or partner, yes, but you're still, at the end of the day, yourself, and what you put into it is what you get out of it. So going back to being a globalized standard is that, a lot of states, and again, that goes back to political, right? So in the US, the politicians tell the state board the rules. Now it's our job to interpret. The state board of each state is interpreting those rules to figure out what we can and can't do. So that's how it breaks down, right? That's why some states are allowed to do this and some states aren't allowed to do that. So, but I think if all states collectively understood what we do better, then we would have better rules. And I know that's on a federal level. Yes, that's a whole other level. But we have all these, again, it's education, right? Because these politicians who make up these rules, they probably don't even know what we do in the ins and the outs. And we don't even
because other countries have standards. Other countries have standards for their country.
Right. Exactly. So, opening it up to what other countries do, that's why things like, again, Babtech, Sedesco, iTech are really, really important, especially for US-based estheticians, because that's a whole nother world, right? Their standardization is very high, very, very high.
The most amazing topic in aesthetics. We are focused whole year in all scientific and treatment, new technology, but yesterday in Spanish was the same. Everyone was so excited to talking about this, because this is a topic who talk our heart. Because if we don't talk about this, we cannot grow. And that's amazing. For next year, for the 2026, I think that maybe twice we have to talk about this topic, because yesterday was the same than today. So we have Irene to answer this question, and we have to finish because it's very late and I have patient waiting too. And another, let's wait for Irene and we can just close with a couple personal opinion and we all.
I'm here. I echoed everything. I loved hearing everyone. I know we're on a time crunch, so I won't keep it long. The most important thing is to be passionate in what you're doing. Sedesco and iTech were created many years ago. If I'm not mistaken, Sedesco maybe in the 40s, 70s, I can't remember right off the top of my head. And it was created for estheticians, just like iTech, something more recognized. 46, yes, thank you. I wasn't wrong, okay, thank you. So I was there. So it was about, and because I am from Europe, and Alina, you know, there's different trainings and approaches and techniques and way. I could see the pros and the cons in doing things uniform within the states and having it separate, especially being licensed in I think 7 states in the U.S. I may be licensed in off the top of my head. So every state has different laws. The most important thing is the education. It is being passionate for what you want to do. The foundations, the knowledge, the skills, the support, and we'll get off the phone, something that most people don't know, especially, you know, is allocating your resources responsibly as a therapist and not just, you know, being responsible. You are the bookkeeper. Someone said you're the bookkeeper and the manager and HR and all of these things. And it's very, very true. And you wear a lot of hats. Like I said, I find that staying educated, trying new techniques, being consistent, offering a great experience, they're truly the pillars of success. And clients can feel it. Women are very smart and they're highly intuitive beings. They are incredible. They are the portal of life. So they know when someone truly cares for them. And when they see that and they feel that, it grows your business. Your business will grow. And it's all about creating a memorable experience and product knowledge. And it's not just the ingredients, because there's lifestyle in people's lives. What medication they're on, DNA, background, everything matters as a whole, where holistic aesthetics does look at it like, you know, I studied Ayurveda. So it's an ancient healing from India that focuses on balancing the mind, the body, the skin, and goes into the root causes of skin issues. We all can say with their stress, digestion, lifestyle. So there may be a skin contraindication that if you put a citrus essential oil on the skin, that person is going to have a reaction. So it's not just about knowing ingredients. Ingredients are important, but it's also knowing and taking into account what that person may be taking, where it can be like photosynthesizing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I have to admit, I learned a lot. And like I said, I heard my fair share of presentations, and I attend my fair share of conferences, and I subscribe to a stack of industry publications and magazines. I get all the newsletters and knowledge logins. But this was wonderful perspective. I have to say, between Brenda, Lisa, and Irene, you guys are building a legacy. You may not even know it, but I'm getting goosebumps just like thinking about today. So it was, this is a Girl Scout, and my daughter does that a lot.
I learned it now. Brenda, I really love your participation, your support, and your commitment with your passion. And today I appreciate your time. I just give you this certification for continue working with Global Integral Beauty. Could you tell me, please, how do you feel today? How was your expectation to be here in Global Integral Beauty Networking?
So this literally surpassed I didn't have any expectation. Just like when I came to New York.
Yes.
I said yes. That's it. I said yes. And I'm going to tell people, and I'm going to hope I don't cry, but say yes. Whatever opportunity comes your way, say yes. God will work out the details, because if this is His will for you to do in your life, He will make a way. Period. Be a yes person, okay? Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. Get on that stage, do that class, do this, do that. Because when you say yes, all of it will just pour in like a tidal wave. You will end up getting so many offers. So many people will want you to do things and come to their events and do this and that. But all it takes is that one yes. Say yes. That's my advice to anybody is, yes, it's an investment. But if you don't invest in yourself, what makes you think your clients want to invest in you? And that's what it is that you have to invest in what you believe in. You have to believe it. Fake it till you make it. And then your clients will invest in you. When you go to all these things and you invest in yourself and you bring those things back home to your practice, your clients are going to go, wow, look at all these trophies. Wow, look at all these awards. They're going to know that you mean business because they're going to know that you are willing to invest in yourself, so they will invest in you. So, and I just thank Global Integral Beauty because it was such a great, this time was amazing. I love everybody and thank you. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, GIB. Thank you, Evelina, and all the speakers here today. So I'm among giants. I'm among icons, legends. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Brenda. So this is Lisa. Lisa, thank you for your time. This is the international certification for your attending. Could you please, in short words, tell me how was your experience today?
My experience here today was wonderful. Thank you for hosting such a wonderful event and a great topic, because honestly, I think a lot of people need to hear this for many reasons, to keep going, to push through, to revisit things that they haven't. And, you know, I just think it was a great panel. I think we had great discussions. I would definitely like to definitely collab more. You know, it was nice to meet everybody on this panel, and I'm just super excited, and thank you so much for the certificate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa. And last, Irene, please, could you tell me a little bit about your experience today?
It was amazing. You are a woman that I don't know for very long, but believe me when I say this, I have an immense respect for you and the marketing background and skill that you bring forth. I admire you as a woman, and thank you for doing this for every woman out there, especially in today's time when women are where they are, in whether it's in the eyes of politicians or in other areas. So bravo, Idales, for everything that you do, and to each and every woman, each and every client, each and every story, each and every hurdle. We are stronger together. It's when people are divided is where the breaking of the link occurs.